Hey everybody. I just decided to do a video today here while I'm out walking. So I wanted to talk about some surprisingly amazing changes that happen during perimenopause. The changes that we had wished and prayed for when we were in our 20s and 30s. And I think it's important to do this because all we hear about for perimenopause and menopause is just um, so negative things, which are true. There are a lot of changes that happen. There are negative, but there are also a lot of positive things that happen. And I think it's important to keep them in mind so we can nurture those, or keep them while we manage all the negative stuff that come in. And those changes, especially in the early perimenopause, they are very subtle. But if you pay attention and if you are in tune with yourself, like with your body, sorry, I need to stop hitting the mic. I'm still learning all this, so please forgive. In tune with your mind and body, then you can start noticing and enjoying those. For example, like you will notice that you can speak up. You're speaking up more than usual. It could be in your just regular life or at work, and then you start to exude some confidence, if that's what you can call it. I mean, you feel like you are okay with being yourself. You're okay with being yourself. And you become like a master at reading people and sniffing their BS, even from a mile away. You are not scared of confrontation if it's needed. Of course, I mean, you're not going to go and start fighting people, even though that's one of the things that happened with me because of the extreme irritability. But the confrontation, meaning that if you witness some kind of injustice or something is wrong, you won't mind bringing that up. You notice the thought of pleasing people start to cringe you. You feel like you don't need that anymore. You don't need to please people, and it's okay to draw boundaries around you. And you start to you expect people to respect those boundaries. So the discussion is how you preserve or keep these amazing transformative changes that happens during this phase of our life, and manage the negative changes that we talk about nonstop. I mean, rightfully so. We talk about, so you can educate yourself about them and know what options you have in terms of managing those, and then you collaborate with you work with your doctor to live your best life. So you can become this new you, which is confident, brave, and know what she likes or dislikes, while keeping all the negative at bay. Hi, I'm Dr. Sufira Kiran. I'm a clinical lab scientist by training, with 20 plus a year in cell and gene therapy. My mission is to help women navigate perimenopause, especially Desi women, using science-backed education and the self-advocacy. So let's start with what's happening neurologically. What's happening in your brain during perimenopause? Your estrogen and your progesterone levels fluctuate widely. These hormones don't just control reproduction; they also influence your neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin, which affects everything from your mood to your focus to how much you care about your social norms. So as your estrogen level decline, your brain shifts away from being the nurturer you once were, and rewires itself. And some of the results are great. Like I said, you stop people pleasing. You used to say yes to everything, and now you are prioritizing yourself and setting boundaries. You develop a no nonsense radar. Like I said, you can spot dishonesty, and you cannot tolerate manipulation, whether it's at work or it's in the friendship. You speak up. You're no longer afraid to voice your opinions, ask for what you want, or call things out when something is wrong. You care less about what other people think, and I think this is just in itself such a beautiful thing, like caring less about what other people think. So instead of seeking constant approval, you focus on what actually matters to you. You become more confident. You're trusting your instinct and owning your decisions. So all of this is happening because a part of your brain, again, that was wired for nurturing and keeping social harmony, is shifting to self-preservation. Now all of this sounds pretty good. But here's where things get tricky. So these changes, again, like I said, they don't happen in a vacuum. They come with side effects, and you don't if you don't manage those side effects, or the negative changes also happening at the same time, the negative can take over and neutralize this what I call your newly found powers. So let's talk about not so fun stuff that tends to creep up. So you have less patience. You used to be able to sit through meetings, listen to people talk in circles, and nod along like a polite, functional adult you were. But now, the second someone starts rambling about something pointless, you can feel your soul leaving your body. You are less empathetic. Now, I'm not saying that you don't care about people anymore. You do, but your tolerance for a drama is gone, and you just realize that you have no filter anymore. And So there's a difference between speaking up and saying everything that crosses your mind, and unfortunately depends on how you look at it, perimenopause tends to blur that line. You might think to yourself that you're just being direct, but to everyone else you may be coming across a little rude. So that's something that people might tell you, especially in your family circle, that hey, you're not yourself, you just what you said was rude. So your mood swings are unpredictable, and 1 minute you're feeling fine, the next you are not fine. Your brain fog you're experiencing is real. You walk into a room and you forget why you're there, you start a sentence and can't find the right word. It's frustrating when you're used to being the sharp cookie, and now your brain is just not cooperating. I'm talking about especially in like a corporate setting, when you're just used to be on top of things and full of wit and good comebacks, but now you just can't do that anymore. Sleep deprivation is real. You feel exhausted all day, only to find yourself wide awake the second that you hit the pillow. So all these things can start to overshadow the positive that we initially discussed. So if you don't actively manage them, the good will just wither away, and then you will just stuck with the bad, and you don't want that. But the good thing is that you have complete control over this. The key is learning how to manage the negative, so that your newly found strengths can stay intact. So now the question is, what can we do to keep the good and manage the challenges? So the goal was never to fix perimenopause. The goal is to harness everything good that it brings with it while managing the downsides. Now here are the things that we can do to manage the negatives. Number one, balance your hormones. Perimenopause isn't just about aging, it's about hormonal imbalance. So the first step is to understand where you are in the process, and I made a video about that. I will link below. So talk to your menopause specialist, keeping in mind that most general doctors, OB-GYNs, they are not trained in perimenopause care. And you know, uh, talk to them. Consider hormone replacement therapy. See if it's right for you. It can stabilize mood swings, improve brain functions, and it has a great protective effects on your bones, on your cardiovascular health, on your brain health. Um, so it supports your body naturally, and then you can also start using some supplements like magnesium, omega 3s, adaptogens are good that can help regulate stress and inflammation. Number two would be prioritize strength and movement. Your body needs movement to balance hormones, improve mood, and reduce brain fog. Lift weight. Strength training is just not for looking good and toned. It helps regulate estrogen and support bone density. And if you want to, again, conquer this phase of life, I say this in every video. If you want to be the queen that you were in your younger years, and you still want to continue doing the same thing that you love, like hiking, walking, shopping, socializing, in this phase of life, strength training is non-negotiable. Walk every day. Walking lowers cortisol, reduce inflammation, regulate blood sugar levels, and improve mental clarity. Um, Avoid dieting mindset. If you want to get ahead of game of perimenopause, you need to stop dieting. There has to be a change in a lifestyle, including your eating habits. You have to talk to yourself and explain that from now on, you will be eating mostly for nourishment and sometimes for entertainment. I mean, of course, we're humans. I mean, you keep a space for that too. But majority of your eating should revolve around keeping you healthy. So at least 4 days a week, you should have a solid meal plan where you're focusing on protein. You have to increase your protein intake as you age. 40 plus women should target at least like 1 gram of protein for every pound, or you can do every pound of lean body mass. If this is all confusing, just target eating at least 100 grams of protein. You have to keep an eye on the carb intake. um, there's no work around it. You cannot consume carbs like you used to in your 20s and 30s. Just try not to go above 100 grams of carbs, and this will give you enough budget to include rice, breads in your meals. And so we talked about protein, we talked about carbs, and for the fat, let it fall where it may. And later, when you are really good with your meal planning, you can optimize your fat intake as well. So number three will be remove triggers that make your symptom worse. Now, certain foods and habits will amplify the negatives of perimenopause, so you should at least be aware of them, like reduce inflammatory food, like processed sugar, alcohol. There's some data about seed oils, which right now um, I still do seed oils. In my regular cooking, I incorporate ghee every now and then, but things that I really avoid or have, you know, do very less of is eat processed food. I don't eat processed food, and sugar too. So this past weekend, which was Eid, I did, consume some dessert here and there, but on daily basis, I try to not eat dessert at all. uh, what else can you do? So cut back on caffeine. It worsens your anxiety. It can make your sleep problem worse. So try not to do more than two chai, two coffee a day. Um, Now this one might surprise you. Stop doom scrolling. Social media overstimulates your nervous system, and it fuels your anxiety. So I would even go this far as to tell you that if you are addicted to doom scrolling or mindless scrolling, or find yourself scrolling to stalk people that you dislike, just go ahead and deactivate your account for a while and see how it makes you feel. Now, remember, it will be very hard at first because it is kind of overcoming a dopamine addiction. So it's, be prepared. It's not going to be easy a first couple of days, so just hang in there and it shall pass. The most important thing that you can do is the sleep. Again, this is a non-negotiable. If there's one thing that you take away from this video, actually two things. The first one will be the strength training. There's no way around that one either if you want to stay strong throughout your 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. The second thing will be sleep. Sleep is everything. Poor sleep worsens every perimenopause symptoms: your mood swings, weight gain, memory loss, irritability. So focus on consistent sleep routines, magnesium supplements, blackout curtains, limiting screen time before bed. Find out what works for you the best. I will admit this is the hardest of all changes to make, and I still to this day struggle with it because alone time when everyone has gone to bed is my favorite, and this is how I had trained myself to unwind. But I realized that if I want to preserve my brain functions, if I want to stay healthy during this phase of my life, I have to go to bed on time. Well rested brain is a resilient brain. So perimenopause isn't here to ruin your life. Just keep this in mind. Have a positive outlook. It's not ruining your life. It's here to change you in a better way. So if you manage it right, the change can be very powerful. You can keep your confidence. You can feel strong and in control and even beautiful. And you can go through this phase feeling like the superhero you have always been. So you just need the right tools and learn how to implement them in your life, and then you should be golden. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye bye.